Test, 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 test. So I just created a few scripts to activate and like VM management stuff. Uh, you know, basically on my host machine, R swap whatever VM I want, whatever VM that is currently on my system that the VM I want will replace. Of course, the one that's currently on my system will go to storage. With that, I created two scripts to activate and deactivate it because the way it works is so with Vert Manager libvirt versh test there's an XML file, you know, using GPU pass through, you would add your GPU, your mouse, and devices, which I tend to control with scripts as well. Deactivating and activating those. Can't deactivate and activate the GPU. There's no swapping GPU. I think it has something to do with GPU state or something like that. There might be like some very weird workarounds. It's not a thing that happens. But an OS, whether it be Linux or Windows, well, technically, the way Linux XMLs are set up and Windows XMLs are set up, they're different. But let's say you wanted two Windows virtual machines, and the devices connected, they're the same. You want them to be the same. You want both of them to be GPU pass through. The only thing different about the two VMs is, what you have downloaded. So, technically, it'd be like the OS, maybe a game, maybe a browser. And then on the other VM, it would be like a different game. And the XML, you basically like, when you start the VM, it references XML for probably like a whole bunch of stuff. But it also references it to like what's the name of the .qcOut2 file, which is basically like VM file storage that can be like it's copy on write, so the file gets bigger as more stuff gets written in the VM, stuff like that, which is good because it means you have a VM that you want to be no bigger than 250 gigs, but you don't want to take up 250 gigs for that one VM, because that's weird. If there's nothing there, why take it up? That's just the cap. So in reality, it's more like 24 gigs for bare Windows. Then it bloats up, whatever. It doesn't matter. So the XML references the name of that, thing to get its data or whatever, but you do a little name swap, and that XML is now basically like a different VM. I think I'm explaining a simple thing in a complex way, but it's pretty powerful and useful. Uh, Pre-configured XML files and, and VMs. VM can use multiple XML files. An XML file can use multiple VMs, and when I say VM, I just mean a storage file containing VM data. I don't know what a VM is anymore, but um, um, so it did VM management stuff. So created a script to act and deact, so that way that process happens, and VM names are kept track of, so that we could store them, bring them, and have them be under a certain XML, all automatically, all within a single command. I think next up that I have to work on is new VMs based off of existing VMs. So let's say you had that game and you want to download this tool, but you're not sure, clone the VM. You got two VMs, two different names under the same XML file storage, controlling where they are located, stuff like that. Rsync -- sparse, very important for this type of stuff. Otherwise, previously, the way I've cloned VMs and stuff like that is through Virt Manager. But when you clone a VM, you also clone the XML file. So, I just want to clone VM data. That's all I want to clone. I want to control everything with scripts. So I gotta create that stuff. New VM. It could be off of let's say you want fresh Windows install. I got a fresh Windows install VM on my server that I could just type a command, then run the VM, install some stuff, store that new VM as something different, then I'll still have that fresh install of Windows on my server and a VM with stuff on it, etc. And I created a new VM from scratch, no cloning, no nothing, of Arch. But I used 2024 ISO. It's okay. But it's probably good to do that every once in a while, when the new Windows 11 ISO comes out, maybe take a look, see if, or a few ISOs down the road probably, or maybe, I don't know. Like this current VMMN was installed with the Arch 2021 ISO. It's a 3-year-old ISO. No problems. Nothing wrong with it. And it's an operating system. It's not meant to be like you have to reinstall this thing because it's gonna die over time. Might die after 10 years, but not before the next ISO comes out. but I don't know. Now that I could clone off of that 2024 ISO, you know, who knows? Maybe the next ISO I do from scratch just for fun just ends up being completely different. I don't know. I kind of liked learning to install Arch the way I did. It's better than because I've probably installed Ubuntu before and stuff like that, but it's just like, you know, you understand like you get to pick and choose when something doesn't work. You know what's not working. You know, if something on the screen flickers, is it PyCom? Is it the window manager? If something like that happened on Windows, you're kind of stuck. There's no like swapping out parts and stuff like that. I can't try out a new window manager, but with here, if stuff really isn't working, you know, new ISO, new window manager, new tools, stuff like that. Maybe instead of Grub, use something else. Maybe you have like a AUR package manager, figure some stuff out. I don't know. But after that cloning, then it's long-term storage. Then after that, I think it might be smart to improve the way I control Windows a bit. So that way when I set up auto to my left here, get being full, it would be quick. Because when doing that setup, I'm going to be using a different keyboard compared to my split. Is it Earthlinger? I don't know. Some term. I split. Instead of using my split Dvorak stuff, I'm just gonna install Arch. That flicker scared me. I thought my VM was going down. If my VM goes down, I'm going to sleep. But I'm gonna install Arch with just normal HP QWERTY keyboard, and my wrists are probably gonna be twisted. I'm just gonna not have fun, and I'm probably gonna have to find a mouse somewhere to plug it in. But I don't know. I don't think after doing that 2020 ISO, I don't think I needed to use that mouse once. I don't think. I just grabbed all my configuration files off my website with wget, and after that my bind should be good enough to be able to control Windows, which is probably all I need. And then after that, get my scripts from my website to be able to get connected within my local network. Do I need to set up GPG keys? I guess I'll figure that out once I get there, but GPG keys is just for something I have okay. SSH rsync GPG. I think because the VMs will have their keys. I don't think Auto needs access to anything but being able to get the VMs. So, and that should just be Python rsync. How am I gonna go from? Dude, I'm gonna have to do more scripting because I have communication swapping between server and whatever this thing is, but I'm gonna need communication. I think there's gonna have to be an SSH server on Auto. And if there's an SSH server on Auto, I think the server. Okay, so there's two ways to go about this. SSH server on Auto, and then the server does the rsync commands. Which, now that I think about it, I don't want that to happen. Instead, I'm gonna have to modify the client script to be able to receive messages from the host to handle that stuff. So I think there's scripting ahead. Write that down on my to-do list. So we got, what if my client, so host sends to Auto to rsync. That's something that has to happen. Better that then we got and then before that we got so those are the four things. Scripting. I'll find some more scripting. I don't know what does scripting even mean. how quickly can I do that? This doesn't have to be advanced. There's room for improve. But so that's pretty quick. This is pretty quick. I almost could have done it a few minutes ago. This is difficult. This is going to require thinking. And then this as well. This might have to be a special auto client script. Or maybe not. Okay. That's these last two, like the first two, easy. Last two might be difficult. I'm a little bit worried that they might be difficult. They might be difficult. I'm thinking I should skip this. I think so. Okay, I think I go to sleep here. I'm just worried about this. We'll see. I'll try to go fast.